There we go. Hey Pam, you doing okay today?
Yes, sir, I am. How about
Hey guys,
yourself?
I'm doing great. Hey guys, I got a special guest with me today. I got my tax person Pamela, and I'm gonna say your name right today, Pam. You want me
Just say Pam. Just say
to? All right,
Pam.
all right. I'm here with Pam, guys, and we're gonna talk taxes today, and the benefits of actually owning a home business, and the tax advantages. Pam actually been doing me and Lisa taxes for the past probably like 10 years. I mean, she's awesome. I got her information. I got her website scrolling at the bottom right there. And if you guys want to look her up, but Tim, could you give us some tips today on why home business? What's some of the biggest tax advantages that people have from owning their own home business?
Well, Troy, first of all, I've been in the tax industry since 2003. And so I've understood the necessity of having a home based business for a very long time. And the longer I see us um, go through life in corporate America, not to bash corporate America, I see the overly funded refunds that a lot of people get, and so when I first started my business, that wasn't my focus, but it exposed a lot to me and how people throughout the year were literally suffering as far as their take home pay, but not really understanding that that big refund that they look forward to at the end of the year was literally money they were overpaying in many cases, not all, but they were overpaying throughout the year. So that really made me start to really really want to put that message out there to individuals who didn't really see themselves as business owners and let them know that you have the same advantage that a corporate company has, which is having a simple home based business that's easy to do. And as long as you follow three small, easy rules, you're good to go.
Cool. I know I'm on your email list, and I get your emails all the time. And I know you sent the email out today about when you own a home business, you can actually even employ your kids. How does that work, Pam?
Absolutely. There's a lot that goes into that. So one thing about that small uh strategy is I see that it's shared a lot on social media and people kind of lack the understanding there because even when you hire your child or a family member, you could you have to do it the proper way. You literally, just like someone gets hired on their job, you have to hire that child. So the strategy with the home with bringing having a home-based business and hiring a family member, think of it this way. This is like the most simple way I can put it to the average person. um, I remember when my children were young and they both were in sports, cheerleading, football, and basketball, my son and my daughter. And so when you have children in school, especially high school, junior high, you incur fees. Even if they don't play sports, you got graduation fees, right? So the money's going to come out your pocket anyway. Do you agree?
I agree.
So when you have a home based business and you take the strategy and talk to someone who understands the process so they can put it in place for your business properly, you take the strategy and the money, let's just say for your Troy, your son runs track. And I know you guys spit out a lot of fees for that throughout the years.
Yes, we do.
And you bring him in to do little stuff. These kids know social media like the back of their hands, right? So you bring him on and you have him do your social media marketing and you pay him for that. Of course, you pay him what that type of job would be for someone doing marketing on Facebook. You pay that and you make sure it goes to him, to his account. But then you make him pay his fees because you were going to pay him anyway, right? So you don't pay
That's right.
your family member for them to go blow the money. All it is, guys, when you're dealing with taxes and savings and strategies, is learning how to move your money. because the money is going to move anyway. But are you going to move it to where it's in your favor, or are you going to move it to where it's in the IRS favor? And a lot of us are moving it or not moving it to where it's in our favor. And so when you bring on the strategy of hiring your child, all you simply do is bring them on board properly. You don't have to have a corporation. You don't have to have an S Corp. You don't have to have an LLC. You can be a sole proprietor and hire your family member. You bring them on, you pay them regularly, you have them do a real job, and you take that money and make them pay for their fees. In the end, so you have a standard deduction. That child, let me go a little bit further with that. That person or child or family member that you bring on, you pay them only a certain amount. Most of them will not, if you pay them $5,000 for the year, that's $5,000, just to make the numbers easy. $5,000 you can take off of your income, your taxable income. $5,000 that's been shifted over to that child, that the child won't have to pay taxes on. They don't even have to file a tax return.
Well, that's powerful, Pam, and you know, because man, I want to give hats off to you today because I got a big refund yesterday. Did you get that, Pam? But anyway, I want to give hats off to you because I mean, you know, a lot of people, you know, as you know, I know you in the home business industry, you and your husband both, and you know, a lot of our family, they don't understand the power of it anyway. So one of my goals, you know, as I build my business is to actually build an empire and actually hire some of my family to work for me. Does that make sense, Pam?
Absolutely, Troy. And that should be the goal for a lot of us, especially with, you know, the things that we've witnessed over the past couple of months here in our own communities. You know, we really need to take a step back and look at the power of a home-based business. And people think, oh, she got a home-based business, she don't make that much money, or she not doing that much. You will be surprised at the amount of money that comes through these homes, these garages, these little bitty rooms. I have an office space, but because of the pandemic, everything, I've cramped into this one room. But you don't need an office space. All you need is a corner, a closet. I remember growing up in network marketing industry and hearing all these stories where people would make a closet because they didn't have much money. They would start their business and their closet was their office. And, you know, some of them turn millionaires, some of them make a little bit of money. But let me tell you something, when you start a home-based business, the average person, you know, we all heard the millionaire stories. That's great. It's cute. But, you know, for those that do the bare minimum and just get the business started, and I talked about the 3 things you needed. All you need is the intent to profit, right? Doesn't necessarily mean you have to profit in those first couple of years. The intent of it, which leads to number 2, you have to actively work. So when you start something, don't just think, oh, I went out there, I went downtown and I got my my DBA. That's not enough. And it's not always necessary. You don't have to go downtown to get a DBA. That doesn't prove your intent. You need, the intent is the work that you put into it. Schedule 3 to 5 hours a week, 3 to 10 hours a week, you know, and then the record keeping. You have to keep the good records. Those are the 3 things that you need in order to prove, in case there ever was an audit to come up. And it'll take away that fear that a lot of people have regarding audits when they start a home-based business. If you're doing those 3 things, the intent to profit, keeping good records, and setting a schedule where you're actively working, you don't have to be afraid of an audit. You simply just, you know, be careful. Don't, you know, have someone like myself or a professional go through an audit with you, but you don't have to fear the audit because everything is tracked. The powerful thing, you know, you mentioned network marketing, and you know, I don't know how deep you want to go into that home-based business, but I do want to say to people that network marketing is the most simplest home-based business any individual can become a part of. And I'll say that because if you, Troy, I know you know, but a lot of you guys in the audience, if you think about it, your mentor, your coach, your upliner, whoever it is that you work with, or when you go to these big conventions and they talk about getting on the conference calls, they talk about having meetings, they talk about Zoom calls, they talk about passing out flyers, they talk about all these different activities, right? And then here's the kicker. They tell you to get a calendar, right? They tell you to get a calendar and write down what your schedule, write down your activity. All that is audit proof. They are in alignment with what you need to do when you have a home-based business per the IRS. So if you guys are in any type of company, if you're in your own business, or if you're in an MLM company or network marketing, you better know that when they have those directives, getting on those calls every week, that's part of your activity. All that counts, all of it. I remember I had a client who she was in a network marketing company, and she said something, but it led me to make her understand, if at minimum you keep your log where you travel and you're delivering stuff and you're having parties, if all you did was made sure that 3 days out the week you travel to these different locations, do you understand the mileage deduction that you get? You're either going to get, you're going to make a lot of money, or you're going to save a lot of money on taxes. So if you don't get a check from the company, you don't get a check for a refund because of the overpayment or break even from the taxes that you filed.
Yeah, I mean that's big, Pam, because Troy go to school down there in Little Rock, and I actually got business partners in Little Rock. So every time I go to Little Rock, I write the miles off because I go there to talk business. It's just
right.
I don't think a lot of people just understand it from that point. I know I talk to a lot of my friends that make like 6 figures and above just on their jobs, right? And they paying 30% in taxes, and they crying every year. Every time it's time to do taxes, they crying like, man, I gotta pay all this money. And I talked to them about, like, man, you know what? If you can find something else that you would like doing besides your job, that could generate extra income on the side, I said you can write a lot of stuff off. But in the same thing, I tell them you got to have intent on making a profit. And I know you're an entrepreneur, and you understand that corporate America game. I mean, eventually they probably gonna get laid off anyway. So I would be trying to build something else on the side anyway if I was them. But I mean, but guys, this is a deal. If you want to get in contact with Pam, you can message her. Pam, share a little bit about your book.
Absolutely. I have a book that I just released a couple of months ago. It's an ebook on Amazon, and the name of the book is Conversations with the Tax Strategist. And basically, it's not your common book where you're just reading about tax strategies. It's me. I've placed myself in a conversation with people where we're having just everyday daily activity. We're having fun, but at the same time, I'm giving off strategies that small businesses or any business can take when they're doing what we call tax planning. And, the problem with tax planning is people want to plan after the year is over with, and that's not the way that it's done. Once 2019 is gone, it's gone. We're in 2020. A lot of you, if you're working with a tax preparer, if you're on a corporate job, you literally want to send your preparer, your accountant, your bookkeeper, whoever it is that can assist you. You want to send that person. You can go to my website and ask me questions that's scrolling through here, but you want to send them your most recent paycheck so that they can tell you where you are right now. So even if you don't have a home-based business and you're an individual who just have that corporate job, they've changed the W-4. It's a new version. That W-4 is created so that they can stop these big refunds. Now, you can still get a refund if you know how to manipulate it, but they've changed it so that people can quit overpaying, and underpaying specifically. Because they're tired of the underpayments and people going, with these tax liabilities for years and years and years. So they fixed that. So people are not going to be able to do, they don't even have exempt on there. You can still go exempt, but you have to know to write it in. That's how much they've made changes to that form. So you guys, listen, submit your most recent check stub for 2020 so that your person that you're working with can see where you for the year? Are you not paying enough in? Have you overpaid so far? So that you can plan and know what you can put into place. If maybe someone needs to offer a home-based business opportunity to you, it's still time. Half the year is a lot of time to take advantages of some tax strategies for a home-based business.
And the thing about it too, guys, if you looking for a good tax person, I mean, really reach out to Pam. I mean, before Pam, I mean, me and Lisa had a gentleman we used to use in Kentucky, and he actually retired, and he turned it over to another lady, and she ripped us off. So I was actually
Oh,
introduced through. Yeah, I mean, she did me wrong, like $5,000, and I was like freaking out, hoping, praying I didn't have to pay the IRS. But anyway, I met Pam through a friend of mine. And like I said, she's been doing our taxes for the past 10 years. Before Pam, I actually went, and she knew I went a couple of years without even doing my taxes. And the reason why was because I was going to H&R Block and places like that, and they just did not understand the home-based business arena. They didn't understand the benefits. So when I would go to places like that, and I would say, "Hey, I can write this stuff in a certain part of my cell phone," they were like, "Oh no, you can't do that." So I was like, "You know what? If I can't write this off, I'm going to end up owing them so much money. I have to find somebody like Pam, guys." So in a tool I use is called TaxBot. I think I'm pronouncing it right, maybe not. But if you want some information about that, message me. I know Pam like it. When I send her my information over there, I just shoot her an
I
email.
love it. I love it.
And that's what Pam, I actually try to get a lot of my team using that tool. I know a lot of people on your team, that you heavily involved building your business with, that you really, help them out with tax strategies and stuff where it can benefit them to the most. So guys, I'm telling you, reach out to Pam. She can really help you guys out.
I'm actually creating a small pamphlet for those who have home-based businesses to really be able to keep all these things in one place. And the vision of it is to assist people, to get people to understand that when they're in these different companies, they can actually take the information they're getting from the company and merge it with the material I have and put it together and really stay on top of their business, make their money, get their tax deductions, and everything's all in one place. They're not concerned about an audit. If they get contacted, they have everything in one place, ready to go and just solely prepared. I did want to touch on one thing though, Troy, if we have some time. I don't know.
Oh, go ahead. We got plenty of time.
You mentioned you're traveling to Arkansas, in business there. What people don't understand about, deducting your trips, your pleasure trips, you can literally turn them into business trips. But the thing about it is, you want to call before you go, before you get there, and have it in your calendar. Have it if you're leaving for Arkansas on August 8th, then you want to write it in there before that time, that you talk to who, you're going to do what, when, how, and why, and have it there so that when you get there, your travel day is deductible. You can have a day in between. You set the meeting up for the next day. That's deductible. So now all 3 days are deductible. Then you put another day in between, and then you have another meeting with somebody else, and all that's deductible. Because if you go there and set the meeting up once you get there, then you just lost out on all that mileage it took to get there. You lost out on, whatever it is prior to the meeting. You lost out on getting those deductions. So it's very important when you're taking these strategies to understand how to properly document the strategy. So that's what really, knowing that people think that they could just go fly out somewhere and then write the trip off, helped me to really just say, I'm going to put something together so people can have like a guide on, if you're going to go to Hawaii, let me show you how to make that trip deductible and keep it all together in this book so that you are for sure. I have questions in there to make it sure that you can write this off. So if you go to an H&R Block person, you're letting them know, well, this is what it'll have, the IRS codes there and everything that could be pointed to, because those people are people who just go in October and get training on how to do data entry, basically. And then, that's your tax return. It's just data entry. That's it. There's places on the return that you can, for example, education credits, you could put that credit on 3 separate spots on a return, depending on someone's situation. I have to check two for sure just to see what works out better. One spot works out better for one person and another place works out better for the other. But if you use something like TurboTax, it's going to just ask you questions to guide you to where you want to be when you don't necessarily need to be in that place to take that deduction, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that make a lot of sense. See, guys, that's why I use Pam. She knows her stuff when it comes to these taxes. I mean, really do. And Pam, like I said, guys, if you want Pam book, it's on Amazon. I think it was $9.97. How much is it, Pam?
$9.99 on Amazon.
$9.99 on Amazon. Go grab that book. And if you're looking for a good tax person, I'm telling you guys, reach out to Pam. Just shoot her a message. You know, I'm actually trying to refer her as many people as I can, especially the people on my team that use TaxBox, because I mean that is an amazing tool. And if you want information about that tool, just message me. But I encourage each and every one of you guys is looking at this. If you're in the home business industry, go grab Pam book like right now. So you want to close it out with something, Pam?
I just want to say, you know, you guys, just by getting on this live and listening to just the small piece of tax strategies that we discussed here today, you guys are in that top 10% because most people just don't see it. And so just to be here listening and understanding that there is a better way to set up your financial situation, just to be here and to take our time to listen to this short 20-minute interview between Troy and I has really put you in a place that's a step ahead of the rest. So congratulations to everyone who took our time to listen. And I'm going to go ahead and say congratulations on purchasing my ebook. You guys really will not be disappointed with that book. It's a very short read, but it's so much information in there.
Yep. And don't forget, guys, her website is scrolling at the bottom. And if you want her to actually prepare your taxes, to become your tax person, reach out to her. She's amazing. Like I said, me and Lisa, we love her. She's actually been doing our taxes for the past 10 years, and she will treat you right. With that, Pam, thanks for your time today, and have a great evening. I know you're probably resting up from yesterday.
Oh, my God, I wish. I have to pick up on the extensions.
All right, Pam. You have a good one, Pam. Thanks.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.